All right, let's jump into another deep dive. This time we're looking at Speaker Johnson, specifically his recent Fox and Friends appearance, out on the campaign trail. We found this really interesting YouTube video from a local news channel.
Okay.
And they were covering that Fox and Friends segment.
Interesting.
But it's not your typical cable news kind of setup.
Oh.
No, Speaker Johnson's at a diner.
A diner?
Yeah, in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And he's, get this, flipping pancakes.
Flipping pancakes. What, while he's doing the interview?
While he's answering questions, from voters.
Oh, that's clever.
Pretty smart, right? I mean, projects that man of the people image.
Exactly. Very strategic.
And it's Pennsylvania.
Right. A swing state.
So, every appearance matters.
That's
every interaction.
Every vote.
Yeah. So he's not just serving up pancakes.
Yeah.
He's serving up a campaign message. And one of the things he does right off the bat, he tells this story about Trump, about his stamina on the campaign trail.
Okay.
And he even mentions a conversation where Trump told him, we have to leave it all on the field.
Interesting.
And he uses that to sort of, fire up the Republican base.
Get those voters energized.
Yeah, exactly. Look, our guy is giving it his all. We got to match that energy,
It's classic. It's classic campaigning.
Total team spirit. No excuses. Get out and vote.
Yep.
That's the message.
Sure.
But then he makes this prediction about the Hispanic vote. And it's, some might call it bold.
Bold. How so?
Well, he's anticipating a historic shift towards the Republican Party.
Wow.
He's not just talking about a few points here or there.
No.
He's talking about a fundamental realignment.
Really?
Yeah. And his argument is that Democrats have lost touch with the values of the Hispanic community.
Interesting.
Especially things like, faith and family. And then he also points to the border policy.
Of course.
Under the Biden administration.
Yeah.
As a major source of frustration.
Right. A big talking point for Republicans.
Yeah. And you know what? He keeps coming back to that border issue.
It's a key issue for them, for sure.
Throughout the whole segment.
Makes sense.
He's suggesting that a lot of voters, especially Latinos, who have immigrated legally,
Yeah.
they feel strongly about fairness.
Right.
And a system that's managed properly.
It's about who followed the rules.
Yeah, exactly. Who played by the rules, who didn't.
I see.
That kind of thing.
Interesting.
And then there's Pennsylvania itself.
Yeah. What about it?
He's so confident.
Confident about?
About Trump winning the state.
Okay.
He claims that Trump has a history of exceeding expectations, outperforming the polls. But he's also careful to say that every vote counts.
Right. Can't take anything for granted.
Especially in a swing state.
Of course.
Like Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So it's a balancing act.
Yeah, for sure.
He's projecting optimism, but also acknowledging that
it'll be close.
It's going to be a tight race.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he even throws in that reminder.
Right.
We need every single vote.
Right.
As if to say,
don't get complacent.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let up.
Yeah.
But it's not all, pronouncements from the podium,
right,
so to speak.
Sure.
We also see him, actually engaging with these voters.
Oh, yeah.
In this Q&A.
The Q&A, yeah.
What did you think about that part?
Well, I think that's where we really get a feel for what's on people's minds. You hear about, energy costs, the price of groceries, everything's going up.
And it's got to be top of mind for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
These days.
And then, you hear about the border.
The border,
big issue.
Always comes up.
Always.
It's like a microcosm of the national conversation.
Totally.
Right there in this Pennsylvania diner.
Exactly.
And he doesn't shy away from those tough questions. What kind of solutions does he offer?
Well, he sticks pretty closely to that, Republican playbook.
Gotcha.
So on energy, he's talking about energy dominance, right?
Okay.
Through increasing domestic production. He specifically mentions fracking.
Okay.
And then to address those economic anxieties, he emphasizes,
tax cuts,
deregulation, as the path to growth. And then on border security, it's it's that familiar message of strict enforcement and cracking down on illegal immigration.
So it's a consistent message aimed at a pretty broad base.
For sure.
of voters.
Yeah.
Especially those who are...
I know, feeling the squeeze.
Yeah, feeling that financial pressure.
Absolutely.
Worried about, national security.
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
It's interesting how he's tailoring his message to those key concerns.
Yeah. It seems to be working, at least for some of the people in that diner.
He does, yeah.
They're engaged.
They're asking questions.
They're asking questions.
Sharing their stories.
Yeah, their frustrations.
I think it's a good reminder that even in this, highly polarized environment we're in, people still want authenticity.
Right.
They want to feel heard.
Yeah.
They want to know that their leaders understand them.
Totally.
And I think Speaker Johnson, at least in this setting, seems to be tapping into that.
But then, amidst all of this serious talk about policy and the economy, there's this, unexpected moment of levity.
What's that?
He does a Trump impersonation.
He does, yeah.
Really?
Can you believe it?
No, I can't believe he did that.
I mean...
It's kind of brilliant, though.
Yeah.
It's like he's not just trying to win them over with facts and figures.
Right.
It's also about connecting with them.
Yeah, on a human level.
Exactly.
Through humor. And by doing that, by mimicking Trump...
Yeah.
It's like he's signaling
alignment,
alignment, shared values,
and
maybe even poking a little fun at himself.
Yeah,
in the process.
It's a calculated risk, though.
Sure.
I mean, it seems to pay off.
Yeah, it lightens the mood,
makes it more relatable.
Yeah,
and maybe more importantly, it reinforces that connection.
Yeah.
With the Trump base.
To the base.
Yeah.
So we've got campaign stories, bold predictions. Policy pronouncements.
Yeah.
Even a little comedic relief.
It's a pretty comprehensive look, wouldn't you say?
I'd say so, yeah.
At Speaker Johnson's message on the campaign trail.
What I think is really interesting is how he manages to weave it all together. He's appealing to both, the head and the heart.
Right.
Presenting himself as this leader who gets it.
Understands
the struggles.
Yeah.
But also offering solutions.
Yeah. And that brings us back to his central message, right?
Which is
his confidence in a Trump victory.
Right.
He really seems to believe that the Republicans are
in tune with the voters.
Yeah, tuned in to the issues that matter most to voters, especially in these key states.
Like Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
It's like he's painting this picture.
Yes.
Of the Republicans as the party of the working class and the Democrats as these out-of-touch elites focused on pushing an agenda.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Especially for voters who are feeling,
left behind,
disillusioned.
Exactly.
And then, his focus on the Hispanic vote as a potential game changer.
That's fascinating.
It's really interesting. He's suggesting that this demographic, which is historically leans
Democratic,
that it's up for grabs.
That's a trend we're seeing more and more
in Republican circles.
Yeah.
They believe that they can make inroads with these voters.
By emphasizing what?
By emphasizing, economic opportunity, family values, a strong stance on the border.
Right.
It's a strategy that acknowledges the growing diversity of the Hispanic community.
For sure.
And recognizes that their votes
aren't monolithic.
Yeah, they're not a monolith.
No, not at all.
He's walking a tightrope, though.
How so?
Because he needs to appeal to those voters.
Right.
But without
alienating
other parts of the Republican base.
Right, the ones with those...
who might have more hardline views.
On immigration,
On immigration, exactly.
It's a tough balance.
So what does all of this tell you?
Well, I think it suggests that the Republicans are actively looking beyond their traditional base.
Okay.
They're trying to broaden their appeal.
To voters who might
be receptive.
To
this message.
And in a close election, like this one's shaping up to be.
Oh, yeah.
Every vote counts. And his emphasis on the Hispanic vote, I mean, that could be...
Oh, absolutely.
A really crucial factor in all this.
Yeah, especially in a state like Pennsylvania.
Right. But what about,
the bigger picture.
Yeah, the bigger picture. Could this signal like a shift in the electorate?
That's the question, isn't it?
Beyond just one state.
Yeah, we have this snapshot. Right, of Speaker Johnson at this diner in Pennsylvania. But it raises these these fascinating questions.
Yeah, about these broader trends.
Exactly.
Like, is this focus on the economy, the border, this idea of fairness?
Yeah.
Could this be resonating with voters on a national scale?
It really makes you think.
It does. It's like we're zooming in on this one specific event,
right,
but then pulling back to see
the bigger picture.
Yeah, how it all fits into the larger landscape.
And that's what makes these deep dives so valuable.
I think so, too.
We're not just, summarizing what happened.
Right.
We're analyzing the why,
the
how, exploring what it all means.
So as we watch this election unfold,
yeah,
what should we be paying attention to?
Well, keep an eye out for how these themes, the economy, the border, fairness, how are they playing out in the media?
Okay.
How are the candidates addressing them? Right. What are the polls saying?
And even closer to home.
Yeah.
How are these issues being discussed in your own community?
In your own community, yeah.
Among your friends and family.
Exactly, because ultimately elections are about more than just speeches and rallies.
Right.
They're about the values.
The values, yeah.
We prioritize as a country the direction we want to go.
And as you form your own opinions, remember there are many different perspectives out there.
Absolutely.
Engage with those perspectives.
Absolutely. Engage with those perspectives.
Even if you disagree.
Yeah, even if you disagree, thoughtfully.
That's how we become informed citizens.
Right.
By engaging with the issues. Thinking critically.
Thinking critically, yeah.
Recognizing that there's always more to learn.
And in a democracy, that's powerful.
It is.
Because it means we all have a role to play.
A voice.
A voice, a contribution.
So as we head towards Election Day, stay engaged, stay curious. And keep asking those tough questions.
And until next time, happy diving.